Joining us is Sindy Ready, a board member of the Arizona Association of Realtors. Cindy, good to talk to you again. Regarding the Fed's interest rate hike, I want to ask you about two things. How long does that take to trickle down to mortgage rates, which actually have fallen slightly lately? And how will this affect the number of buyers out there looking for homes?
Great to be with you today. So what that does to the buyer pool for us is a lot of buyers are just kind of taking a little bit of a hesitation of just kind of looking at what is the economy doing, what's the stock market doing in addition to interest rates. And as the interest rates increase, what that does to mortgage rates, it usually takes about a week for us to see any change, if any. It doesn't necessarily have to affect our rates, but it does typically bump it up a little bit. So we were up, then they came down a little bit. So we're anticipating that they may push up a little bit closer to 6 again by next week.
Just to follow up to that, it's not that people are going to stop buying homes because people are still going to need to buy homes for various reasons. It may just affect the price range they're looking in, right?
It could affect the price range. Yes, absolutely, from a buyer perspective. And then from a seller perspective, what's happening is the sellers are having to be a little bit more realistic on the timing of the sale of their home. So, if we look back a couple months ago, you put a house on the market, you have several offers within a few days, and, you're closed and done within 30 to 45 days. And now it's typical for about 20 days from the time you list a house until you get it under contract. It can be different if something is priced really well and in a great location. It can be a little bit less than that, but it is taking a little longer to get under contract. So if some of the sellers in the previous market, what they were doing is they would go out and buy a house and then sell their house. And now that's probably not necessarily the best way to do it. You probably should get your house sold before you actually go out and write a contract on a new home.
Which is exactly what Jamie just finished doing. Yeah. We're talking with Sindy Ready, a board member of the Arizona Association of Realtors. Just out this morning, real estate data company Adam, with 2 T's, says their second quarter home sales report shows profit margins on median priced homes hit another new record, despite the National Association of Realtors saying earlier this week that we saw another drop in home sales. Those are pretty different tea leaves to be reading. Which matters more for our real estate market?
So our real estate market is really balancing out. It's not crashing. Basically, if we look at the numbers, so this morning we had 18,000 homes on the market. If we were to look at that about 2.5 months ago, we would have had 4,000 homes on the market for the entire valley, all price points, all types of homes. The thing about that is, in a normal market, if we had looked at this a couple of years ago, just in a normal market, we would have had 35,000 homes on the market every day. And so we're really still half of our normal market. So we are in a housing shortage still in our market, with a lot of people still wanting to move here because of all the tech companies coming in. So, it's definitely a good time to still buy. You may have to get a little creative with a variable interest rate scenario. And I just want to remind buyers that, your interest rate on your primary home is a write-off. So if you're paying 3.5% or 5.5%, it's still a write-off at the end of the year on your taxes. So
very good point. All right. Thanks a lot.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah, thank you. Sindy Ready, once again, a board member of the Arizona Association of Realtors.